everybody. Welcome to Off the Vine. I'm your host, Kaitlyn Bristowe, a little under the weather. So I was supposed to be in LA to interview Jenn and go to a wedding, but thank God for the internet because I get to stay home and not spread my germs. And I still got all the answers that we are all looking for from Jenn this past season of The Bachelor, with everything that happened, the timeline of the breakup, if she's talked to Maria, what the following of each other was like. There's just so many questions that I think you all had that I got to ask her. And so I don't think you'll be disappointed with this episode with Jenn, our last Bachelorette, and new Dancing with the Stars. I was going to say champ. I can't put that out there yet, but we're rooting for her. Jenn, first of all, I wish I could jump through the screen and just give you a hug. Like, I hate that I'm not feeling great. So I had to cancel my flight to LA, but I was literally, I had a wedding, but I was like, I need to fly out there. I need to hug her, talk to her. Like, I know there's so much going on and so much to talk about. And I know that it must be so hard because something happened a few months ago. Then you're trying to relive it. Then something more current happens. Then you have to relive it with the rest of the world. But I have to say, to see the internet show up and support you is something I never thought I'd see happen. And I just want to right off the bat check in and just know, how are you doing?
It has been really hard just reliving the past couple of months, like watching it through my screen and then having had been broken up with and then still having to live through those moments with everybody else on screen, but then them not really knowing what happened and to now have to again relive our breakup in real time. And so I've been processing a lot. It's not a normal human experience to be going through these emotions at all different times and whatnot. And so, yeah, it's been a lot of processing, but the best thing that has come out of this is the internet and the community that I've gained from it, and everyone who has just been so positive and so empathetic. I think that's the biggest thing, is people can see how heartbroken I was, and just to have to relive all those moments, and heartbreak is a thing that everybody can relate to. So it feels good to have this community behind me, and I honestly couldn't be more grateful, because I was honestly scared. I didn't know how people were going to react to everything, and especially when you're going through a breakup alone, it can feel so lonely. But to have so many supporters, I think it really makes things just best case scenario, just to know that I have so many people behind me.
It is so shocking in the best way possible when the internet rallies behind you, and very deserving of it, because the internet can be such a scary place and people can turn on you on a dime. And I was, feeling scared is probably that's a very valid feeling to feel going into all of this, because again, you really don't know how people are going to react. But my gosh, you could feel the heartbreak through the TV screen. You could just see it. It was not that was so raw and so real. And I know that everyone's just that was pure torture for you to sit through that finale. And I have heard different things, you wanted to sit there and watch it with him. The hardest part for me was when you were like, do I have a choice? And I wanted to be like, yes, you do. I wanted to me, it would have been a really powerful moment for you to be like, this is too hard for me. I've been through enough. I'm going to walk off and plug my ears, but you can sit here and watch this. What was going through your head when they made you watch that?
I mean, I will say this, they're very conscientious of my feelings around that day and how anxious I was. So I was walked through every single part of what was going to happen that day, right? They tried to make me feel as comfortable as possible, but I didn't know how emotional I was going to be. I have never cried in a room of that many people before. I've never cried in a room of one person before, let alone that many people. So I didn't know what my emotions were going to do and how that was all going to feel. But I did in that moment want to sit next to him and watch that. When they told me that was going to happen, I said, that is great, because I need him to rewatch those moments that we lived together, because throughout the whole breakup, I feel like he was kind of dismissing the fact that he had led me to believe all these like proclamations of love that he had made for me, I felt like he was dismissing them, and I felt like he was saying like, I just don't feel this way anymore. But I'm like, why would you say things like that if you never meant them in the first place? Like, that to me is something I can't wrap my head around, and I don't even know if he had been watching the show like that closely. So yeah, I wanted him to watch that moment and to realize how badly he had hurt me, because I don't know in what world somebody can get down on a knee and promise your life to somebody and then the next day not actually mean those things.
Right.
So yes, and it was hard. I didn't want him to see me cry. I didn't want anyone else to see me, but I was just, it was a very, very hard moment to relive. And it was also kind of like the moment in which I realized that the relationship had really ended, because I, had been holding on for hope for the past month, because we'd had conversations back and forth of like, okay, like let's just talk together and like see where this goes and like end it on a good term, whatever that meant. Like I wanted that conversation off camera and I wanted to have that time with him. And so I did hold on for a little bit of hope. And in that moment, sitting there next to him on stage and watching us promise our lives to each other, and then realizing that we weren't in that place anymore was heartbreak at its finest. Yeah.
Well, it's like re-breaking the heart over and over again. Like that's so painful. And I'm glad that at least we know that you knew that was happening, because everyone was so upset for you and hurting for you and with you and all those things. So just for my understanding, maybe I'm just lost, but what was the timeline? So you proposed, which was the thing that like when I interviewed at CMA Fest, were you two together?
Yeah, we were together at CMA Fest.
Okay, so that was the thing that you were like, nothing like this has ever happened on my season. It was that you proposed.
Yes, that was the big thing. Yeah.
Okay, and now were there red flags leading up to all of this, or walk me through the timeline.
Yeah, so he had officially ended our engagement in the beginning of August. I think it was like August 1st probably. But leading up to that breakup, yeah, there were definitely, I guess, red flags. I owed it all to like, we were long distance. We just came off of a reality TV show. Like there's an adjustment period. And for me, I was being very gracious with that, with the fact that like, we have so much love for each other, but we just got to figure out how to make this work in the real world. It's like, we have to keep dating each other. We have to keep learning about each other. And making that effort can be hard sometimes when he's never been in a long distance relationship before. So yeah, I was making excuses for him. I was like, oh, he didn't call me for 18 hours, like, and I don't know where he is. Like, it's okay. Like, he's probably just, I don't know. And that happened a lot. And so it was tough. There were so many scenarios going on in my head during that time. I was like, does he not love me anymore? Is he cheating on me? Is he doing this and that? Like, and I just, each time, I don't know, like forgave it and was just like, you know what, we're long distance. He doesn't know how to use a phone. And I don't know.
Oh, you little angel. What was he doing in those 18 hours that you didn't hear from him? What was his reasoning? What did he explain anything to you?
In the beginning, he was just like, my sleeping schedule's just off. I came off the show. It's been like different. I'm just so tired all the time. And here's the thing, when I got off of The Bachelor the first time, I was very antisocial. Like I couldn't really reassimilate into normal life. Like, so I got all of that. I was like, I get it. Like I was so introverted. It's a tough thing to readjust to. So I was like, it's fine. He's going through an adjustment period. I just needed to like be there for him as best as I could. But then it was just like one thing after another. And it was like, he wasn't putting in effort into our relationship. Like we never had a date night in the time that we were like long distance. Like, yes, we had these happy couples, but like, he never was like, oh, let's just get on the phone and like talk, or let's get on the phone and do this together. It'd be fun. Like we never did that in the 2 months after the show that we were dating.
Was he a complete different person as who you met on the show to who he was in real life?
Yeah and no, but yeah, like, I mean, the person that I thought I was getting on the show and had promised my life to was this lover boy who was so in love, who was promising me the world, was going to move anywhere for me, was going to make anything work, and I was going to do the same for him. And then almost immediately after we got engaged, it was like, wait, he was like, I never said that I wanted to move to California. Like, I actually don't. Like, and I was like, oh, okay, like this is, I thought you had told me that and like meant that. And then it was suddenly like, no, I don't want to get married so quick. Like, let's like wait. And I was like, okay, I get that's fine too. But it was just like one thing after another. His words that he was saying to me seemed like things that he just wanted to say to please me in the moment and not actually follow through on. He
Mm-hmm.
was like, I'll fly to you all the time. And like, we don't have to like stay within the rules of the happy couple. Like, if we can't see each other, we'll see each other. And there was a time period in which like it was a month after we had gotten engaged and we hadn't seen each other yet because of things that came up. And I was like, okay, well, they're not letting us see each other this weekend. Like, just fly out and see me in Miami. Like, no, like the show hadn't aired yet. Like, nobody knows who you are. Like, we'll stay inside all weekend. And he was like, no, like, I don't want to do that. And he was like, I just booked a trip to Mexico. Like, I'm not buying another flight to Miami. I'm like, it's $200. I can pay you $200.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was just like the effort
Oh
wasn't there
no.
anymore. He didn't want to see me. He didn't want to, like, it's just, it's weird and I can't wrap my head around it. And I don't know what happened. And I still don't really understand how someone's feelings and emotions and effort can change almost like overnight.
Well, I mean, the terms get so tossed around of the gaslighting and the love bombing and the this and the that, but he really, I mean, feels like a walking definition of those things. Like, do you think he is misunderstood? Do you think he got cut up on the show, or do you think he's actually just a scumbag?
I don't know. And I think that's the
I don't
hardest
know.
thing is like, I'm done kind of trying to figure out what's going on in his head and
Good.
like who he is as a person. Like, I have to focus on me, but it has been really confusing and continuously confusing to try to understand if he actually meant everything in those moments on the show. And like, we still had really great moments too in our happy couple weekends and in like the phone calls. Like, we still, like, you know, I had so much love for him and stuff. So it's hard to be like, was everything a lie? Like,
Right.
I don't know. I can't figure that out. I'm not in his head. But it was of the way in which he had acted after the breakup that was the most painful because I was like, it feels like it didn't mean anything to you.
Right. Yeah, I think that's the biggest. It was almost like he's kicking you while you're down. And on your
Yeah.
Glamour interview, you mentioned, hearing rumors about Devin DMing other girls. Did any girl come forward to you ever? I heard that Ashley I knew someone that he was reaching out to. Like, obviously, he followed Maria from Bachelor Nation, which that's also kicking you while you're down. Like, has anyone come forward to you?
A couple, yes, and there are still some things that I just don't know if happened or not, and I'm just, I don't have a card to play, so I'm gonna just wait and see like what actually happened, and if it comes out, it comes out. What I do know is he was DMing like girls, and I saw some of those messages, and I think that's the most hurtful part is like, what was your game plan all along? So I don't know. He was telling me one thing, doing another. He was like, when he had broken up with me, he was like, you know what, like, I really want you to know, like, I'm taking this time to work on me. Like, I don't know why I couldn't deliver all these promises, and like, I want to be able to do that. And like, he made it seem like the door was open. He's like, I'm happy we're on good terms. I'm happy this is like salvageable if in the future, like whatever. And I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, I want you to know, like, I'm not going to just be out here like hooking up with girls, like whatever. And then I find out he's DMing all these girls, and it's just, I don't even know who he is anymore. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's really hard for you because it's all just a mind. Like,
Yeah.
what was real, what wasn't. Did those moments mean something to you? Because they did to me. And then you're like so angry and so upset and hurt, but you're also like, I don't want to even try to understand him anymore. But here you
Mhm.
are you're going to have to do so much press around it and interviews and talk about it. How hard is it for you to move on while still needing to do press for the show?
Yeah, I mean, like, talking about it is processing it and trying to like, just like work through it. So, but it is hard because I don't know, I'm not someone that like wants to sit here and be like, I hate him, he's the worst. Like, I loved him. Like, I genuinely loved him and wanted to spend my life with him. So I'm just, at the end of the day, like, his actions are his actions and he's going to have to take accountability for that on his part. Like, I can't do that for him. But yeah, it is like, it's just like, for me, I'm just kind of, I'm ready to close that chapter because it's like, he's saying one thing and then very clearly doing another. And so at the end of the day, like, who he is to me is a liar. Like, I don't want to be with somebody like that. I don't deserve somebody like that. Nobody deserves somebody like that. And he's gonna go and do whatever he wants with his life. And like, I hope that he can learn from this and like be the best version of himself that he can be. But like, I'm no longer interested in being a part of his narrative.
Now I want to like give you snaps and claps and all the like things. Do you see the self-growth that you've had? Do you feel empowered from all of this? Like, even though it's so hard, do you feel proud and empowered that, you know, you are able to say, I don't want anything to do with that?
Absolutely. I mean, listen, I am someone that always wants to see the best in people, and I continuously did so with him even after we had broken up for a month. Like, and you know what? I don't fault myself for doing that because I have such a big heart, and that love for me was so real, and that's the kind of person I am. I will fight for somebody that I love and wanted to spend the rest of my life with. Like, I am so proud of myself and the way that I've handled this and the way that I know my true intentions and I know how genuine and sincere of a person I am, that I'm proud of it. And there's nothing, I don't have any regrets, you know. The season played out the way it was supposed to, and I made mistakes on the season. I'm sure, let things slide that I shouldn't have, but at the end of the day, the person that I thought I was marrying was somebody else, you know. And I know that in the future when I date and when I do find that person, like, I want all the same things that he was offering. I just need somebody who actually is going to fulfill those promises.
Yeah, which is, you know, very reasonable and valid. And I didn't really love how he was not taking much ownership or whatever. And have you guys spoken since that night on the live finale?
I'm gonna be honest, like, I had reached out to him after and just like wanted to wish him the best, and then I started getting DMs from girls and all this stuff that made me upset, and I just like, I was done. So we haven't talked. No. After that, I'm like, there's no excusing for that behavior. So I'm done.
I completely agree with you. And now that you've had time, or not that you're completely healed and it's processed, but you've had time to watch the season back and like think about if something went the other way. And is there a guy that stood out to you that you wish you would have given a shot in hindsight, like perhaps Jonathan or something? I don't know.
Oh, the internet loves Jenn and Jonathan.
I know.
No, honestly, I don't think that I would have went back and like chosen anybody different. Everything worked out the way it needed to. I have so much love and like gratitude for the guys on my season. There were so many great guys. Like, there were a few that were like, okay, but there were a lot of great guys as well, who I genuinely want to be friends with, and like can't wait to grab a beer with them all and like just hang out. Like, and that's the kind of person I am. Like, we went through such an incredible journey together. It's like, I'm such a nostalgic person. And so, yes, I probably will be grabbing a beer with Jonathan, Jeremy, like whoever it is. Like, I want so badly to like keep those friendships, but nothing more than that. Yeah.
And you will. I still to this day am friends with so many guys from my season. They're the best.
You are?
And
Okay.
it's just, so many. Like,
good.
I'm friends with so many of them still to this day. All right, let's talk about the ultimate ride for those who embrace the impossible, the Defender 110. Now, this isn't just a vehicle, it's your gateway to adventure and exploration. The Defender 110 has been redefined with a thoroughly modern design that makes a statement on any road. Its exterior has all the compelling proportions and precise detailing, while the interior is crafted with the very best of materials, built with integrity to withstand anything that life throws at you. But the Defender 110 isn't just about durability, it's also about doing more and going further. So with legendary capability, this vehicle is perfect for off-road challenges and harsh weather conditions. Plus, with innovations like the intuitive driver display and an award-winning infotainment system, you'll be exploring with greater confidence and ease. Now, for those of you who need space, the Defender 110's cargo capacity is ready to carry all of your gear. Whether you're packing for a weekend getaway or a major expedition, this vehicle is built for the modern explorer in all of us. And don't forget, the Defender family includes the compact Defender 90 and the spacious Defender 130 that seats up to 8. So discover more now at LandRoverUSA.com/Defender. All right, hydration is key, whether you're working out, on the go, or just getting through the old day. But let's be real, most sports drinks are loaded with sugar and unnecessary junk. I am all about Element, the ultimate way to stay hydrated and keep your electrolytes in check without any of the bad stuff. I literally take it every single morning. I even packed it on my trip to Canada. Element is a zero sugar electrolyte drink mix packed with everything you need: sodium, potassium, magnesium, and it's perfect for anyone, whether you're an athlete, following a keto lifestyle, or just trying to stay healthy. Also, I love a fun fact. Element is trusted by Team USA weightlifting top pro athletes and even Navy SEALs. So when you need to stay at the top of your game, Element is the way to go. And just for you, my Vinos, you get a free Element sample package that includes 8 flavors with any purchase at drinklmnt.com/offthevine. This simple pack includes 8 of their amazing drink mix flavors. I personally love the orange, the lime, the watermelon. Who am I kidding? I love them all. But it's also perfect for finding another favorite flavor or sharing with a friend. So if you don't love it, just shoot them an email. They'll refund your order, no questions asked. So drinklmnt.com/offthevine to purchase today. Is there a reason that we didn't see why you did send Jonathan home?
There was a lot. There was a lot. It just wasn't there. I don't think he'll mind me saying this, but like he just wasn't sure about doing long distance as well. And I was like, I live in Miami, like I'm not going to be moving, and he's not going to be moving. So we were both just kind of like, we didn't know, like long distance wise, if his heart wasn't in it and like mine wasn't, then it wasn't going to work,
Yeah.
So that was like a major factor as well that we had talked about. But other than that, like, no, like we're on such good terms. Like we've spoken since the show. And so, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, some relationships are just better off as friendships. Relationships don't have to be romantic. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like, I'm so excited to I'm so glad to know that you were friends with some of the guys on your show. Cause I'm like, oh, how's this going to look? Are people going to think I'm weird? But I'm like, no, like I just want to be their friend.
Nobody will really ever understand a situation like that. Like all of us at home could be sitting there being like, Devin gives us the ick. There's so many red flags. How does she not see it? And why did she pick him? But for you, it's a complete different bubble of a world that you're in. Different. You're seeing something different. You're feeling something different. We're watching an edited version of a show. Like there's so many things that you don't see that we do. And so many, like just so many different scenarios that like nobody would ever know unless they're in your position. And even people like me who have been in your position, it's still a complete other season, like different feelings, different humans, different reactions, different everything. So it's even myself can't put myself in your shoes for some of it because again, you're a different person than me. So yeah. I hope people give you the benefit of the doubt for that, because so many people, I asked, listeners to write in and ask questions, and people are like, why did she even pick him? And I'm like, well, it's, you're probably seeing a different version of him than we are.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he was consistent with me, and consistency is a big thing in my life that I haven't really had. So to have someone so consistent all on the show and just be so open with his love at the time felt so good. And yeah, I mean, I also just, it is what it is. And whatever red flags I didn't see, hey, maybe next time I will. But the person that I met on the show and loved on the show was a lover boy. And yeah.
Well, speaking of next time, you'll maybe be more aware of red flags. Do you feel discouraged to go out there and date again? How are you feeling now as a single woman again, thinking that you would be engaged? Are you feeling a little excited? Are you feeling discouraged? How are you feeling going into the world as single Jenn again?
I mean, it's not like I'll never date again. I'm not, it's not like I'm writing off all men in history and whatnot, but right now, my heart is just not open. I'm just at a place where I am still processing this all. And I up until a month ago, I was imagining a life with Devin, kids with Devin. So it's just, I need time to heal from all of that. I need time to kind of just move on from the relationship. And yeah, when the time comes, I don't know when that will be. I hope that my heart will be fully open to something else, but it's just not right now.
Yeah, that's so fair. I mean, it's your timeline. There's no
Yeah.
rush on, jumping into another relationship, or if they're like, and it's okay if you do. It's whatever your heart is
Right.
feeling, but it's what's cool is where you're at. I
Yeah.
know my heart's not open, so you're working on the healing process of all of this to move forward and grow and know your worth, and then you'll find that, you're not going to have to worry about being the Bachelorette again and not seeing things that we see. Like, you'll be more aware and knowing of who a person is right away. I think so many people were saying to me, like, I hope she goes on Paradise, and I was like,
Oh
I hope
God.
she finds love in a library, like
Me
that. I want you to
too.
just be like reading a book, and like some sweet little angel comes and swoops you off your feet I don't know, I just want it to be like an innocent setting, but I think it's too soon. I'll never forget, I was in the limo getting dumped on my way back to the hotel crying.
Oh
And one of the
God.
producers joked with me. We had a very joking relationship. And he goes, Paradise? And I was like,
Oh my God.
absolutely not. What?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I'm like, could
I
you,
know.
now I'm being the producer, but like,
Oh
would you
God.
ever even consider Paradise after all of this?
No, no. And it's so funny because when you talk about like being in the limo and getting dumped, I remember being in the limo with Joey's season and they're like, well, you never know, Paradise, Bachelorette. I'm like, no, I was only here for Joey. Like, no way I would ever, like, I'm
Yeah.
not ready. Like, so
Yeah.
it's so funny because I had that exact same experience. But Paradise, no.
Yeah.
I
No,
just
no, no, no,
don't
no.
think this is for me. I think that's the thing. I would love to meet somebody in a library or at
Yeah.
the grocery store. I think I'm all set with online dating.
Speaking of, you were only there for Joey. Now you and Joey are on Dancing with the Stars together, which is so
Yeah.
freaking exciting. And I swear I'll get to the exciting stuff. I just have a couple more questions
Oh,
from
yeah.
listeners before we move along.
Yeah.
But somebody said, you had mentioned, well, I saw this too, after the final rose, that you sacrificed parts of yourself for Devin. Can you elaborate on what you mean by that?
Totally. I mean, we saw on the season, I had learned so much about putting myself first and not accepting less than not accepting just the bare minimum that from a man, And so right after we got engaged, I thought I was getting engaged to someone who was giving me so much, and I was so in love with and like ready to like give all to. So after we had gotten off the show, it was like the weird, like, not texting me, not calling me, not putting in effort for date nights, not wanting to make me feel special anymore, not wanting to get to know me and my heart. Like, he just stopped like dating me in a sense, but was still going through all the motions of like being a boyfriend in some way, but not going above and beyond anymore. And so I let those things slide. I mean, I was just like, okay, it's fine. Like, he's going through a tough time. I just got to be there for him as a partner, and things are going to get back to the place where we were when we were engaged. Like, I was just like, I'm waiting for that feeling to come back again, that effort to come back again. And it just was slipping and slipping and slipping.
Yeah.
And then even after he had broken up with me, like, I was letting things slide, trying to be so empathetic with him, making excuses for him when I shouldn't have. Like, I should have just taken it for what it is, because at the end of the day, if somebody doesn't want to be with me, they don't want to be with me. I shouldn't have to beg. I shouldn't have to sit here and convince you of my worth. And for a second there, I slipped back into like convincing him that I was worth fighting for, that I was worth being in a relationship for. And that severely hurt me too, because I was like, oh, I've grown so much as a person. I can't believe I'm back in this position and I'm doing this to myself. But enough is enough, and we're not doing that anymore. So yeah.
Well,
that was what I meant.
It's always something really, it's like the last straw where it's like there's so many things in my life where I'm like, why does this keep happening to me? Oh, it's because that's the part of myself I need to heal. And that lesson will keep slapping you in the face and getting louder and louder. And the universe just keeps cranking up that volume until you're like, ah, and then you've had enough. And like,
Yeah.
To do this on such a public platform, but knowing that we are all behind you, we are all rooting for you, and it's okay if you slip, and it's okay if we go backwards, and it's okay if we make mistakes again and again and learn from them. It's okay. You are like a human being trying to navigate love and life in front of a lot of people, and you're still so young, and it's just there's so much on your plate, and I hope you don't feel pressure or responsibility to be anybody but who you're being, even if that means you slip a couple times and go, wait a second, I'm catching myself in that slip and I deserve better.
Yeah, no, thanks. I mean, it was hard watching myself through the season and let certain things slide and parts of me, because we all have this perception of ourselves, right? And that perception is not necessarily always who we are. And in my head, I'm like the baddest bitch in the world. Like, I'm not letting anything slide. And I was like, wait, shit, I was letting things slide all season. So it is hard to come to terms with the truth of the matter sometimes, right? But that too is like, I'm so grateful that I was able to watch it back, because now I'm like, okay, like these are habits like that need to go away. But like you said, like healing is such a process, and it's a journey, and it's not a linear journey. Like, you're gonna go up and down all the time until you get to a point where you feel proud of, and that's not just, but also like, I am so proud of the journey that I've been on. I'm so proud of like the learning that I've done and the growth that I've done, and I'm continuously doing so. And hopefully I will one day meet a man that won't make me question my worth, that won't make me question if I'm slipping back into old habits. And that's the goal in it all, right?
Look, all of these things that you're doing is going to get you there. You are learning so many life lessons, and like to do what you're doing is you're just growing at a rapid speed from all of this. And that's what it is. It's you're going through big feelings and little feelings, and it's just a lot that you're going to get through, and it'll all make sense. This episode of Off the Vine is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Now, whether you're obsessed with true crime, love a good comedy, can't get enough of celebrity interviews, we all have our go-to podcast, right? Now, you're in control of your queue, so why not be in control of your car insurance too? Let me introduce you to the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. Now, it's exactly what it sounds like. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for auto insurance. They'll show you a range of coverages that fit your budget. How cool is that? And then you're calling the shots, just like you would with your favorite podcasts. So if you're ready to get behind the wheel and take control of your insurance, head over to progressive.com and try the Name Your Price tool today. It's quick, it's easy, total game changer, and join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. This episode of Off the Vine is sponsored by BetterHelp. And here's a question for you. What is something that you've always wanted to learn? So as kids, we constantly learn new things, but as adults, it's kind of easy to lose that curiosity. So maybe you've been wanting to pick up a new hobby or master a new language, or finally, I don't know, beat your best friend at bowling. Whatever it is, whatever your little heart desires, it's never too late to start. Therapy can actually help you reconnect with that sense of wonder, kind of kickstart your own back to school era, no matter what age you're in. Whether you've been in therapy or not, we all know it's a powerful way to learn positive coping skills, set boundaries, and really work on becoming the best version of yourself. So it's not just for those big life-changing moments, it's for anyone looking to grow and improve. So if you've been considering starting therapy, BetterHelp is a great option to consider. It's all online, making it super convenient, flexible, fits into your schedule. You just fill out a little brief questionnaire and you're matched with a licensed therapist who is right for you. And if you need to switch therapists, which by the way, it happens, no worries. It's easy and there's no extra charge. So why not rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp? Visit betterhelp.com/vine today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/vine. I was scrolling Instagram and watching people's stories, and I saw that Maria was like, I got back from this and I see this happening on the internet, and I'm going to have my side of the story and I'm not holding back. What does that mean? Have you talked to Maria?
No, listen, I don't know what her story is. I don't know what happened. I'm not interested in, I personally don't think anything happened with Devin and Maria. I think he was being a bit of a jackass and like went and followed her for whatever reason, and that's fine. I don't think anything happened, and I never insinuated that, and I didn't want to have her be a part of this narrative because I know that there's not more to it. I just was like, that was a hurtful thing for him to do. Like, it was his little MO, whatever it was, like that was his action and his thing. Like, I don't think she did anything. I don't know. So I have no idea where that Instagram story came from and what she has to say. And hey, I'll listen when she has to say something.
So you haven't like talked to her personally?
No, because I don't think that anything happened. So I wasn't like out here texting her being like, oh my God, did you do something with Devin? Like, no, I don't think that. So no.
I was so confused because I jumped in late to the finale. And so I was like, why are we upset that he followed Maria? Forgetting you two were on a season together, then this and this. And I was like, but it's nice to hear you be like, I think he's just being a jackass. Like, I don't actually think anything.
Yeah, no, he was following a bunch of girls, but it was like the fact that he understood where I stood with Maria, and he understood, the whole season there were things about Daisy and Maria being the Bachelorette and all these things. It's like, you did that to be hurtful, like right after the day after we got unengaged. Like, it was a bit, that was hurtful. That was hurtful.
Again, it's the kicking while you're down, and it's disgusting behavior. I don't like that at all. Yeah. Somebody wanted to know why you didn't address the statements going around about the Marcus allegations. I'm admitting right now, I have no idea what they're talking about.
I'm admitting right now too, I don't know. I've seen people say things about these allegations. I have not read into anything. I have not looked into anything. I don't know anything except for who Marcus was to me on the show and the kind man that he was. And yeah, I have no idea.
Last question. Do you think Devin was positioning himself to be the next Bachelor and hoping to appear heartbroken? Like, do you think this was just a game to him?
That's a question that I truthfully cannot answer. I don't know. I go back and forth on different days of like, he's this amazing man that I love so much, and he's got such a good heart, and I know him. And then some days I wake up and I see the things that he DM'd girls, and I'm like, never mind. I have no idea who you are. So I don't know.
And it doesn't matter anymore.
It doesn't matter. It's not me to figure out what's going on in his head.
And you know what? The season's done. And in my opinion, he's done. And you get to go move forward and do really exciting things. And you will be, good people are rewarded with good things. And Dancing with the Stars is, to this day, one of the best things that's ever happened to me. I truly, it's the hardest thing I've ever done, but in a much different way than being the Bachelorette. It's hard and more, like physical, yes, emotional, more rewarding. And you will feel that every single Monday night. It's like you get out there and you just feel, it is such a feel good show. Everybody's rooting for everyone. And Sasha is one of my favorite people of that whole franchise. Like, he's who I call when I go to LA to grab lunch with. Like, he really is a hilarious, kind soul. And I think you'll have so much fun with him. He does such fun choreography.
Oh my gosh. Off the bat, we already have such great banter, and I already feel like I've known him for years and years. So we are starting off on a really great, like, I'm so excited to just like hang out with him and just like have this friendship, and it's going to be really good. But I'm so excited that you were also on it and that you had such a good experience, and I need tips. What do I do?
Honestly, each week will be different, and I will be like your like call a friend. Like, you can call me about anything with the show, because there are times where you will want to absolutely quit and throw in the towel and be like, I'm done. There are times that you're going to be like, I'm so competitive and I will do anything to stay here. There's times where you're going to be like, I think my feet are going to fall off my body. Like, there's times where you're going to want to throat chop Sasha just because you guys are spending so much time with each other. Like, it's just all of these things happen. And I think my main advice to people when they do this show is remember it's a show, and remember that it is fun. Remember that it's fun, because it's, even though in the moment you feel like it goes by slow, it goes by so fast. And the energy, just the energy of all the dancers and all the stars in one room, and it's just electric. It's the best feeling in the world, is getting out there on Mondays. Like, all your hard work pays off, and each week will be different. So like, anytime you have a dance that you're struggling with, like, I will freaking fly out there and I'll stay up all night with you, like, being the partner. I will help you in any way I can, because I am rooting for you through all of this.
Did you have dancing experience before you went on?
Yeah, but not ballroom. I did ballet growing up.
Okay.
Yeah, I did ballet, and then like jazz and hip hop, but I hadn't danced in I don't know, like 10 years, and I'd never done ballroom and ballroom. Do you have were you like a cheerleader or dancer?
God, no. I took one
Oh,
ballroom dancing class in college because I've always wanted to learn how to ballroom dance. So it was like a 1 credit class, like whatever. It wasn't actually like a real class, but it was fun and I loved it. So I'm excited to learn. But like, I'm also like, I'm someone who, I don't know, like I get very shy from like being like very out there and like some of the moves
really?
can be yeah, like
Oh, yeah.
I don't love to be on a stage necessarily and to like flaunt it all out there. So like that part of it, I'm like I'm so like I have such bad stage fright. I can't believe I just signed up for this.
Okay, well then let me tell you this. You need to surrender to that.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah.
you need to do whatever it takes to let go of it. You need to be sexy with Sasha. You need to be fun and flirty. The audience will love it. You'll feel better. You need to like step outside of your comfort zone and like free yourself of stage fright is normal and you'll get that every week. But like just lean into this because even if your heart is closed, flirt with Sasha. Like he's cute and you get to like dance with him and
Yeah.
he's single and like why not just have fun with it? It can just like that can be, you know how actors they can go and just have complete chemistry with somebody on screen and off screen. You're like, oh, we actually didn't even get along. I'm not saying that's what it's going to be, but I'm just saying like
Yeah.
have the chemistry on. And that doesn't mean to say that you need to be romantic off camera, but like have that
Right.
chemistry as dancers because
Yeah.
that does read to the audience.
No, 100%. And I think that's the thing is like I can when I'm like on a stage or like have to like perform in any type of way, like I'm usually really good at just like letting my guard down and just taking the moment for what it is. So I'm excited to see that, but that doesn't mean that I don't get nervous about it because I will be nervous. But I know
nervous is
it'll be
great.
so good. Yeah, I know it'll be so good. I am very excited to like step outside my comfort zone. Like I feel like I've just been doing that for the past year and I'm continuously doing so. So I'm excited.
Yeah. And it's such a family atmosphere over there.
Yeah.
It feels so good. I love every single one of them so much. And yeah, all of the listeners were like, ask her if she thinks Sasha's cute.
He's adorable. What do you mean? He's like the best. He's such a little
Do you
sweetie.
like German Shepherds?
I love German Shepherds. He showed me his little guy. I forget his name already, but oh my gosh. I haven't met him in person yet, so I'm excited to meet the little
Grinch.
doggo. Grinch. I'm excited to meet Grinch. But my brother used to have a German Shepherd, so they've been my favorite for the longest time, and they're just so cute.
Then you are
fluffy.
so in with them. Okay, and then what's the number we need to text to vote for you?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
I haven't even done
figure it
promo
out.
shoots or anything yet. I've only probably signed the contract less than 24 hours ago. Like we're like,
oh my gosh,
this is like last minute, but happening, and I'm so excited. Yeah.
oh my gosh. Okay, so you found out very recently. Okay, well,
Oh,
exciting.
I was running off the stage after I had watched the proposal with Devin, crying, lashes were going everywhere. I'm in my dressing room, like holy. That was insane. And basically, a bunch of people came into my room and was like, gave me a big hug and was like, all right, you gotta get your ID, you gotta get your purse, you're not going back to the hotel, we gotta get you on a flight in 45 minutes. Like you cannot miss this flight because you're going on Dancing with the Stars and we have to announce you tomorrow. Like it all happened in like it was a fever dream. It happened very, very quickly. Yes.
Oh, wow. So you went from like a rock bottom to like up high.
A high. No, my emotions that night were like, is this even real? Can people even feel this low and this high at the same time? I was like, what the hell is going on? Like it's been such a whirlwind. I haven't even processed everything. So it's been crazy. Yeah.
Well, I'm so excited for you, and I'm sad we didn't get to be in person today, but I'm glad we got to chat. And I just wanted to like let you have the final word with anything. Like, is there anything that people misunderstood? Is there anything that you want people to know? Is there anything that you're like, I need to say this on a podcast?
Oh my gosh. No, I mean, I don't know. Like, I want to remind everyone to just be kind. And like, I'm getting so much love and I'm so, so grateful and so excited to have such a a beautiful community. But like, it just goes not even in this situation, but in every situation online. I just think like this behavior of just cyberbullying is just not okay. You
It's
never
so
know
bad.
what someone's going through and their demons that they're dealing with. And like, for me, I always lead with love and empathy. And I would never go out there and write something hateful to anybody, no matter what they did to anybody. And that's it. And that's it. People are going to make mistakes. At the end of the day, we are all human. And yeah, that's just, yeah.
I'm glad that's your final message. Be kind. I mean, people can't even make a joke anymore without someone. I think the whole world is collectively scared and hurting. And I think the phone is an easy little place for them to have an outlet. But the contradiction is very confusing to me, because they're like, oh, she's mean and she did this, but then they'll turn and they'll be even meaner and nastier. And you're like, but you just said to not do that, but now you're doing it. Like, the internet is very contradicting and confusing. But at the end of the day, you deserve all the love and support. And I love seeing everyone kind of rally behind you right now. And that'll get you some good votes for Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, I'm like, I don't even know how to vote. How does the voting work? My mom was like, what do I do? I know. I was like, I don't know, Mom. Like, yeah, I'll let you know when we figure it out together.
Well, and I'll put it on my Facebook group and my Instagram and all that of the voting, because this is so exciting. It's so much fun. I'm so excited for you. And yeah, just let me know if you need anything, whether
we'll talk some more. I'll be texting you. Don't worry. Yeah.
Please do. I'm here for you no matter what. And I just adore you.
Thank you. You're so sweet.
I'm here for you. I love you. You're so strong, and just keep going.
Thank you so much.
I'm Kaitlyn Bristowe. I'll see you next Tuesday. See you next